Now, we know that in 2015, we've seen some serious ups and downs when it comes to certain executives and their careers. We've got only 8 days left till the year wraps up. Now, we thought who would be the best person to go over some of 2015's biggest winners and losers. It is our very own Fox Business senior correspondent, Charlie Gasparino.
I thought you said the biggest loser in the world, Charlie Gasparino, but
I didn't write that tease. I would never say that.
Well, let's go for the winners first. I mean, I think this is, we'll start with the good. Do we have the winners up there? Can we please show them? There we go. Donald Trump, for obvious reasons. Steve Cohen, because he's going to come back to the business. Recent ruling in his favor, appellate courts, is very good for him. Adina Friedman, named COO of the NASDAQ, in line to be the CEO. And Bob Greifeld resigns or retires in 2017. Evan Greenberg, Hank Greenberg's son, building a massive empire of insurance company. Yeah. And no one really knows it. It's behind the scenes. And I'm giving number 5 to Hedgeye. Now, full disclosure, Keith McCullough, Fox News contributor, but they made one of the world's greatest calls in 2013. They said Kinder Morgan was a house of cards.
In 2015, they made the call.
They made it in 2013.
2013? Oh, sorry.
It took 2 years, and they faced incredible attacks from these sort of like financial reporters, these lackeys that have sources at Goldman Sachs, because this is because all the big Wall Street firms love Kinder Morgan for the investment banking fees. He came out, meaning Keith McCullough, and
he's a frequent guest, right? Not a contributor. He's a frequent guest. Yeah.
And his analyst, Kevin Kaiser, came out and made I would say a gutsy call. I almost used the B word.
He said Kinder Morgan was a house. They said
House
Kinder Morgan in 2013.
That was going to collapse, and it did. It did this year.
It was a big energy play with a lot of support.
And by the way, everything they said about it, they pay too high of a dividend. They don't use enough money to put back into their operations. With the collapse in oil prices, because this is an oil company, that became the theme for Kinder Morgan. The stock went from 40 to 16. It's traded up a little bit in the recent days, but I can tell you, Keith McCullough, Hedgeye, Kevin Kaiser deserve kudos. They took on Jim Cramer at CNBC. They took on Wall Street, and they were right.
Let's get to your losers.
All right, let's put them on there. I'm sorry to say, there are some losers. The GOP establishment. Listen, you got people like Jeb Bush, great candidates, great resumes. John Kasich runs a big state, runs it very well. Scott Walker was in the establishment, and they're not catching any fire. They're doing nothing. They are being upstaged by a retired neurosurgeon, by a reality show star businessman, Donald Trump, and Ted Cruz, who's a maverick senator. I mean, this is really an amazing collapse that I've never seen anything like that. So they got to be the biggest losers. Listen, they may make a turnaround. They have a guy that's pretty good as part of the establishment, Marco Rubio, but even he is still far behind.
Got it.
Now, I tried to find something nice about Martin Shkreli, whatever his name is, the guy that raised, maybe he likes his dog, I don't know. But in any event, the guy who raised prices a gazillion % on that one drug, he just got arrested for a Ponzi-like scheme. I don't know. He's definitely a loser. He may be a winner next year if he beats the Fed's charges.
He's doing the Rod Blagojevich defense, playing the victim card. Do you think it plays?
No, it doesn't. But listen, the securities fraud is notoriously hard to prove. So and you're innocent until proven guilty. But let's give him his day in court. But I would say maybe he's nice. Maybe he has something good to say about him.
Who are your other losers?
New York Stock Exchange. When they had that outage where none of the trades could be gone through the floor, it was proof positive.
Oh, yeah.
And stocks still traded well. It was proof positive that the New York Stock Exchange is superfluous. I put number 4 as Bill Ackman. Okay, for obvious reasons, hedge funds and his fund. You know what? Last year he was on the cover of every magazine this time. I knew that was the high point. Now he's down maybe 30%, bad bets, but a lot of hedge funds not doing well.
Right.
And David Barsh, who ran Third Avenue, a big mutual fund, closed its doors looking for redemptions because junk bonds are imploding. Those are my losers.
Interesting stuff.
And
you're going to have the story.
We're going to have a story on FBN.com.
Okay.
And
you're going to get a lot of reaction. Thank you, Charlie Gasparino. Really appreciate it. Up next.